Okay, got it. Thank you guys. Let me share my screen. We'll start the session today. Let's take the today's session. Okay. Okay. First, we'll recap for 2 minutes last class what we discussed. Okay. So first thing, DBMS. Okay. So in the last class, we discussed about what is DBMS. Okay. Database management system. Okay. It is a software which is used to manage the data. Okay. Which is used to manage the data. So in some companies, they will use data in data or information, which is used to manage the data or manage the information. Okay, both are same. Don't be confused about the data. What is data? What is information? Okay, so both are same. You don't worry about that. Some few companies will name it as a information. Some people will name it as a we can call it as data. Okay? Don't worry about that. So DBMS, in the name itself, we can call it as a database management system. Manage. First thing, we want to understand what we want to manage, how we want to manage. Managing in the sense what we are going, how we are going to manage the data. Okay, either we are creating the data, or we are deleting the data, or we are modifying the data, or we are doing any manipulations, any changes we are doing with the data. So everything we are doing in the DBMS. Okay, that is called as database management systems. Okay, how we are going to do that? Okay, we are going to discuss about those concepts today. Okay, so database management, it is a software which is used to manage the data. So manage, we can discuss about how we are going to manage. Okay, either we are fetching the data, or we are doing any changes like manipulations in the sense either we are deleting the data, or we are adding the data, or we are doing some changes. Manipulations in the sense changes, like we are updating some data. Okay, for example, as I said, any phone number, you are using one phone number now. Okay, by mistake tomorrow or day after, next year or upcoming years, you want to change your number, or okay, you want to do some your profile data also, you want to do some changes, right? So those kind of things we want to do it in the database, we will call it as updating the data. Okay, so those kind of any changes or any adding the new data, okay, anything we want to do it in the database, that is comes under the manage. Okay, so let's discuss about, we have created one DBMS. Okay, so now yesterday class we discussed about what is RDBMS also. Okay, RDBMS comes like relational database, right? Relational database. So the relational database, where we are storing the data in the form of tables. Okay, RDMS stores the data in the form of tables. DBMS, okay, we are storing the data, we are managing the data, something whatever we are deleting, adding, updating, any kind of changes, anything we are doing in the DBMS. But in the DBMS, what kind of data, like how we are storing the data, okay, in the form of files or in the form of tables, unstructured, structured, okay, we have different. But especially we are going to discuss about Microsoft SQL Server, right? So Microsoft SQL Server will comes under RDBMS. Okay, in this class or in the entire class, we are going to discuss about the Microsoft SQL Server. Okay, this comes under the RDBMS. Okay, means everything we are doing any operations in the form of tables. Okay, tables, as in the yesterday class I spoken about, it is a two-dimensional way we are storing the data. Okay, like rows and columns. Okay, so now comes to the point, RDBMS. Okay, in relational database we have, so to manage this data to the user level, okay, because it is created and we want to do any kind of operations or we want to do any interaction between the user and the DBMS. Okay, this RDBMS. In between we have SQL, okay, structured query language. So, for example, as a user want to perform any operation to the DBMS, okay, directly he cannot interact, okay, he need to perform some operations, okay, like we have SQL, that is called as, okay, SQL is nothing but structured query language. As yesterday class I have spoken, it's a very basic English. If you know, you can understand simple steps, okay, like to fetching the record or to do any modification, how we can to create the table, okay, everything we are going to discuss about in this class, okay. So why first SQL we need, okay, RDMS can understand any other languages we have, like Java, we have Python. Why can't we use those languages? Why we need SQL only, okay, everybody have these questions, right? We have initially also, okay, how this SQL came, okay, first we'll understand, okay. So SQL was developed by IBM. Okay. So IBM is developed the SQL to understand, because DBMS is we are storing some crores of the data. Okay. So to manage those data, we require to perform some simple operations, because Java, Python, C, everything comes under procedural languages. We have two types of languages, guys. Okay. One is procedural languages and another one is non-procedural languages. Means if we want to learn Java or Python, C, we required, okay, some coding language, okay, because we want to follow the same format of those, okay. But non-procedural language is nothing but SQL. You don't require to learn a lot of syntaxes, and that will be a bunch of statements you have to write it, okay, like begin to end. You want to understand each step by step, okay, what it is executing, what will be the output and everything, what we are passing the parameters, everything. But in simple steps, SQL don't require. If you know basic, like for example, you want to fetch some record from the database, okay, like I want to get how many records in a table, okay. Simple step will be select start from employee table, okay. So if you don't know any computer knowledge also, okay, you just came and see this command, okay, select the star from employee, okay, what you will understand, employee from, in the sense, just simple example, from means from employee table, okay, what we are getting the data, like select, what we are selecting. Just take an example, we have multiple books in a shelf, okay, you want to fetch one book only, because tomorrow subject is a math subject, you want to prepare for that exam. But in a library we have multiple books, okay. Library you can call it as a table, one kind of table, okay. And you want to fetch one of the book, because of the tomorrow exam you want to fetch some mathematics books, okay. So there you can select, you are selecting particular book, right, for particular date exam, okay. So that way how we are fetching. Here you can see library as the entire database, okay. We are storing all the books, okay, all type of subjects books, all kind of books in the universe, whatever. But as a student, whoever want, they will come the user, okay. If I want to learn this mathematics subject, I will come select, here I will write mathematics from this library table, that's it. So that way it is easy, okay. Anyone, if we are just going to the library and we are taking that book and going, that's it, right. That is not like a Java code, something you want to come and you want to write a code in a system or something, and you want to grant the access permissions, and those are not required here, okay. You just come and write some command, whatever in the database, you can get the data and use it, okay. That way it is easy, okay. That's why SQL is a non-procedural languages. You don't need to about to write the big statements and all. Okay, if you just know the basic English and just one simple commands you need to follow, that's it. Okay, that is easy. Okay, that's simple. And as you observed in the previously also, I am pronouncing as a SQL, and there is a one more word we have, SQL. Okay, I'll tell you is the both are same or both are different, SQL or SQL. Okay, first of all, we'll learn SQL is a structured query language. Structured query language. S in the stands for structured. Okay, query language. Query means why we are writing some query. Okay, select a star from employee. This is also one of the query. Okay, so that way it is easy. Like query, we have to just write the query to fetch the any data from the table. Okay, so SQL in the sense SQL. If you see in the SQL or SQL, guys, both are same. Okay, because the pronunciation it is English. Like a SQL is a structured English query language. Okay, structured English query language. See, some in the if you join any organization, some people will call it as SQL. Okay, some people will call it as SQL. You no need to worry about that if they are using SQL or if they are calling SQL. Okay, both are same. Okay, because some people will use the word as a SQL. Some people will use the word as a SQL. Okay, you no need to confuse about that. Okay, both are same. Both are the structured query language or structured English query languages. Okay, so both are the same words, just naming. Whoever the flexibility, they will call it as like that. Okay, either SQL or SQL. Okay, so this was developed by IBM. Okay, IBM company first initially developed. Okay, to process the data in the databases. Okay, so once if you learn the SQL, okay, you can manage any kind of databases as in the previous class I spoken about. Okay, those are like as we are going to learn upcoming classes, that is Microsoft SQL Server DB. Okay, DB in the short form I used to call it as a database. If you join organization also, they will call it as DB. Don't to confuse about what is DB, what is database. Okay, both are same. They will simply call it as DB. Okay, Microsoft SQL Server DB or Oracle DB. Okay, and we have IBM one, that is DB2, and one more famous we have that is called as MySQL also. Okay, so in the market we have these many competitors. Okay, so but as you know, if you know SQL, as I said, you can manage any kind of the databases. Okay, and one more thing I want to teach you about in the Microsoft SQL Server, we have both languages, that is called as SQL, as I said, procedural languages, and one more we have transact SQL. Okay, this is transact SQL. This is procedural language. Okay, procedural language. SQL is a non-procedural language. I'll tell you the difference both and what we are going to learn about these two. I'll tell you, okay, in the upcoming classes. So, the difference between SQL, as you heard, SQL, if you learn, you can manage any kind of the databases as okay, in the market, whatever we have, like Oracle, IBM, MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server. But apart from this, we have in the Microsoft SQL Server that is called as a transact SQL. Okay, procedural languages. Why? See, in the SQL, we have, I'll tell you to manage the data, simple writing query, select, we have updating the records, we are creating the tables, creating the database, everything. But procedural languages, we have these, okay, main things, stored procedures, okay, functions, we have, and error handling things, okay, and indexes, triggers, cursors, those kind of advanced SQL concepts we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. Okay, that is the difference in the SQL and t-sql. Okay, so first we are going to discuss about SQL concepts. Okay, in the SQL concepts, because if you don't know SQL basics, you will not able to understand the t-sql procedural languages. Okay, whatever the concepts we are going to discuss, procedures, functions, because everything is dependent on this SQL basics. Okay, and one more thing, guys, if you know the SQL basics, you can learn t-sql. Not only t-sql, we have Oracle SQL plus PLSQL. I hope somebody heard that word. Okay, PLSQL. Okay, and we have IBM also. They have own MySQL also. Okay, so those are procedural languages. Okay, SQL is basic for any database. Okay, if you know the basics, you can later understand this advanced concept, that is Transacts SQL procedural languages. Okay, so now we are going to learn about SQL. In the SQL, what are the main statements we are going to learn? For example, we have created one database. Okay, and we want to first think how to create a table in a database. Okay, and how we are going to adding the records into the DB. Okay, that everybody want to learn, right? So in SQL we have 5 type of statements. Okay, that is one thing, DDL. I'll explain you one by one. Don't worry about that. Don't confuse also. We are going to, in the upcoming classes also, everything we are going to discuss about these all concepts. Okay, DDL, data definition language. Okay, and we have DML, data manipulation language, and we are going to discuss about anyone idea? You are aware? I just want to get some idea about you guys. Any idea? DDL, DML. I hope you are
DRL.
computer science background.
DCL.
Right. DCL. Transaction. Very important in the SQL development. How to control the data, how to make the security of the data. Okay. And a few more we have. Anyone idea?
DCL.
Good. Make data control. One more we have. EQL. Data.
EQL.
Yes. Data query language. Okay. So step by step we are going to discuss about one by one. Okay. First thing, DDL. DDL in the sense, in the name itself, if you see the name, define. Okay. First thing, we are going to create any one of the table. For example, we want to create a employee table, for example. Okay, name it is what is employee. Table name should be employee. And in the employee table, what type of data I want. Okay, you have to make it one structure first. Okay, I want first ID for you, right? That is register ID. Okay, either student ID, or you join college, you will have some branch code, department code. Okay, that kind of other details. Okay, employee, if you join any organization, first they will create employee ID. That will be the unique. If you join any organization, first thing they will create the candidature structure, that is employee ID, employee name, and whatever the department, or you will comes to which department number. okay, either data science or Azure cloud, okay. In organization they have some big organization contains different groups, okay, like data and AI, data and cloud, okay, data and analytics, data and science, and machine learning separate, okay, and reporting separate, like that, okay. We have different branches. If you go to any branch also, first we have to understand the SQL concepts, like how to create a table, how to modify the table data, okay, how to create a new column in a table, like that, okay. So first we'll understand data definition languages, like, okay, how we want to create a table structure first, okay. So first I want to create a table called employee. In that employee, I want few columns data, that is employee ID, employee name, department number, and the salary of the employee, because those components are already, whenever you before joining the company, they will ask you, right, before giving any offer letter, they will give you some structure of the salary, okay, and they will create that candidature structure also here, okay. For example, employee ID 1001, employee name some ABC, and department name some data analytics, and salary some 10,000, right, okay. So like this, we want to create some records here, okay. 1002, some employee name and data science here, some portion, okay. So first understand, after seeing this, okay, this is a one of the table, okay. In the table, first what we want to define the structure. My structure contains what, okay. To define that, it contains 4 columns, that is employee ID, employee name, department number, salary, okay. First we want to define this structure, okay. Employee ID, employee name, department number, salary, okay. This we will call it as a creating the table, okay. So that comes under DDL, okay. To create the table, or we want to rename the table, or we want to delete the table, that is called as a drop the table or truncate the table, okay. So these are the syntaxes we have, okay, to perform anything related to the tables, okay. For example, we want to create the table, there will be a syntax. In the upcoming classes we will discuss, but I'm just telling, create table. Now my table name, what is employee table, okay. My employee table contains, what are the columns? Employee ID, right? I have created the 4 columns: employee ID, employee name, department number, salary. One more thing we want to observe here is data type. Okay, data types we will discuss in the upcoming classes. So employee ID contains only what? Integer numbers. Okay, if you are no, like a number, right? Just number. If you don't know data types, also no problem. In the upcoming classes, we will discuss about it. Okay. So employee name contains what? Characters. Department number also characters. Salary has the number, integer number, or in data type we have one more, call it as a currency. Okay. So that we are going to discuss about in the upcoming class in the data types. But as of now, to understand, I'm telling just employee ID integer, okay, comma, and employee name, that is varchar character. I'll tell you in the upcoming classes what is varchar and all, okay, data types. And we have the department ID, that is also integer, and salary, that is also we have integer. Okay, so this simple way we can create the table in a database. Okay, in the upcoming classes we are going to download one of the software, that is in the previous class I have shown you SQL Server Management Studio. I will show you that also in the last, okay, this session. How to create a table? There is a syntax called create table, table name, that comes under what are the column names we want to create, okay, how many. So we want to we are defining this structure, so that's why this comes under DDL, okay, data definition language, okay. So this contains to create the table or rename the table, drop the table, truncate the table, any kind of doing anything with the tables. Okay, that comes under the DDL. Okay, now DML, DDL commands. We will one by one we'll discuss in the detailed way in the upcoming classes. Okay, this is just I'm giving the introduction about the SQL. What are the things we are going to learn in the upcoming classes? I'm just giving one brief idea, guys. Okay. So next, DML, data manipulation language. In the name itself, if you see manipulation, manipulation in the sense what changes. Changes is like, okay, for example, I want by mistakenly they have entered my name as a ABC, but I want it should be ACB. Okay, they want to change my name here. Okay, that is also one of the data record change, right? So those kind of changes we want to do. Okay, so to update the data, that is called a change in the sense updating the record. Okay, instead of ABC, I want to put ACB here. That we will call it as a updating the particular record in a table. Okay, so that is the updating the record. How to update the record in a table? Just simple syntax we have. To update that, first we want to identify which employee ID, because ABC means there will be a lot of ABC people in the organization, right? If you join school also, there will be a lot of Ram name will be there. But if you take it as a student ID card, that will be a unique record, right? So to identify easy, there will be a similar names also, right? So that's why to make it unique record, we are going to use this employee ID. So how to update the record? So update the record. What is that employee name? EMP name. Where means where it is. Okay, where employee ID equal to 1001. First it will identify from employee table. From employee table, wherever the employee ID 1001. Okay, go and update the table name. Set employee name is equal to set employee name equal to in the single quote, because characters now we have to write in the single quote. Okay, ACB. That simple way we are going to update any record. Okay, so just if you understand the command wise easily while going, so you will easily write the SQL queries. The big query also you can write it in a simple manner. Okay, so but you have to understand the query, what to start first. Okay, what we are fetching, what we are doing in the next step, that you have to identify first thing. Okay, analyzation is very very important. Okay, so guys, whenever we want to do any changes like updating or renaming column, any rename column. Okay, so column level anything we are doing. Okay, column level we want to delete particular salary column. Okay, so that comes at the delete a column. Okay, so anything we are doing some particular column level, that will comes under DML, data manipulation language. Okay, anything we are doing in the column level, that comes under DML. Anything we are doing in the tabular level, that is called as data definition language. Okay, so I hope you guys understood for the difference between DDL and DML. Don't worry, in the upcoming class also we are going to discuss about. Okay, so next we are going to discuss one of the concept that is called data query language. Query language. If you see select command, okay, in the upcoming I have written select star from employee. Okay, so query in the sense fetching. Okay, we want to fetch some data from the DB. Okay, for example, there will be some lakhs of the employees, some 10,000 employees, some 20,000 employees in the organization. Okay, but I want to see particular employee ID. Okay, that employee ID or some employee comes under which department. I want to need some details. Okay, so I want to know 1002 comes under which department. Okay, so that kind of information we want to query the data. Okay, select, okay, department number from employee table, where, Okay, you want to get some particular ID record of the data, or where employee name, either employee name or employee ID, whatever you do. Okay, for example, employee name equal to ABC. ABC belongs to which department number you want to know. So you are querying the data. Okay, you are selecting something the data. So that's, we will call it as a select query. Okay, we are doing some selections. Okay, so that we'll call it as a data query language. As simple example I have given in a library. Library is you can take it as an example, one of the database. In the database, like from library, you want to get some data. Okay, like some type of books. Okay, like computer books. You want computer is a one of the department, right? There only you can find it computer knowledge books only. Okay, and you want to do some poetry books, or you want to fetch some mathematics books or some geology, but whatever. Okay, so those kind of departments will be there, right? So if you know the department ID or employee name, whatever, it's easy to fetch the record. So that's the simple is like to understand the data. So by using the select command, we can fetch any kind of column from the table. Okay, so that is called as a DQL, data query language. So what we learn? DDL, DML, DQL. These are the basic things in the SQL, like how we want to write a query, or how we want to do any changes, or how we want to fetch the data from the database. Okay, so hope you guys understood as of now, right? So now we are moving into the DCL and TCL. Okay, so as initially in the previous class also completely we discussed about what is the SQL developer concepts and what are the administrator wise we want to learn also. Okay, see, if you learn as of now, these are components to the DDL, DML, DQL. Okay, so everything is comes under the development kind of work. Okay, but administration work we will also want to learn these kind of things will comes under. Okay, transaction control language, TCL. Okay, TCL we have commit, save point, rollback. Okay, rollback commit, I'll tell you. For example, you are saving some Excel file. Okay, that is we will call it as a commit. Means we are storing, if you just created one table data, and once if you want to save the data, you have to, because in file we have direction option, we have save, right? Okay, but in database we don't have that option, right? So we have to commit the data. Okay, so once if you write the query regarding commit level, that data is stored in a database. And if you want to roll back, for example, you did some changes, okay, but you don't want to undo, you want to get back the previous whatever operation I have done. So that level you have to get it by using rollback. These we'll discuss about completely in the upcoming classes. Okay. Next we have DCL, data control language. Okay. So if you want to give some permissions to anybody, okay, the database, grant, okay, permissions, revoke, deny, these are accessing parts. If you see name itself, controlling the language. Okay, so if you see the bank information, okay, any security kind of the information, before giving database permissions to anybody, we have Google Pay, Phone Pay, GPay, right? So everything comes under this controlling. Okay, everywhere we have database control. For example, you are a new join, we want to give the database access to you before, you have to read some instructions. Okay, then only we will grant the access to you, because that's very a security type of the data. Because if we that data will go to the public level, that may impact to the business from the competitors, right? For example, there is a new product developing from the Microsoft. Okay, and Google also competitor for the Microsoft. Okay, they are also launching one AI application. These company also launch AI application. Okay, but if you join and you know some data and you are posting some social media, that will be impact to that business, right? So that's why before giving any database access to you, okay, or storing some data, everything will be the grant in any organization. If you join, they will give restriction the data. Okay, so that we'll discuss in the later. Okay, that comes under the control, that is administrative kind of the work. Okay, that is also a little bit we will learn in the upcoming classes. Okay, so these are the 5 components in the SQL we are going to discuss in the upcoming classes. That is DDL, DML, TCL, DCL, DQL. Okay, hope you guys understood, right? 5 concepts. Any up to these 5 concepts, any if you have any query also, please let me know. But in detailed way, in the upcoming classes, we will discuss while executing the query. Okay. Hope you guys understood, right? Please, if you understood,
Yes,
say
yes,
yes or
Sirisha.
type yes.
Yeah, yeah, Sirisha.
Okay. Guys, this will be very interactive session also. So whenever you ask more questions or any small, if you know small query also, please let me know. Okay. Don't worry about that. We can clarify here, or if you want to, or later you want to ask also, fine. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
We will go to the next level. Okay. As of now, we understood the procedural non-procedural language, that is SQL. I talked about t-sql concepts, right? So those are what comes under we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. We'll discuss now. Transact SQL language. So in the this t-sql concepts, we are going to learn procedures, how to create a procedures, and functions, difference between the functions and procedures, triggers, how to create a triggers and how many type of triggers we have, what are the uses, everything, what is the advantage, disadvantage, everything we are going to learn. How it is useful in the real-time projects also. Okay, indexes, cursors, and exception handlings, error handlings you can give. So So these many concepts we are going to learn in the upcoming t-sql concepts also. Okay. What are the types of procedures? First of all, what is a procedure? What is functions? What is trigger? Indexes, cursors, error handlings, whatever we have, and what are the types we are going to learn. Okay. What is the advantage of using function? What is the advantage of using procedures? Okay. How to create an index? Okay. What is the advantage of to create an index in a table? Okay. Triggers, what is the advantage of triggers, how to create a cursors, how to error handlings we want to handle. Okay, error handling, if you know the Java, okay, Python, we have try catch, how to create try catch. Okay, so everything we are going to learn in the upcoming t-sql concepts. Okay, so these are the main concepts we are going to discuss in the upcoming classes. Okay, so this all about today's session, guys. If you have any queries, ask me. So next, from tomorrow same timing, we are going to connect at 8 p.m. Okay. And you will get the recording video also. So these are all about the today's session, guys. Okay. So, and one more thing I will tell you, how to download the software that is called as a SQL Server Management Studio. Okay. So I have already downloaded in my PC. I'll show you. Once if you install, it will show you like this SQL Server Management Studio. Okay. So, but you have to, this is old version. I'll tell you the latest version, how you want to download it. If you go to the Google Chrome, but later classes also, it's very easy to download. It's free of cost also. Don't worry about that. We want to pay something or something. No need. Okay. SQL Server Management Studio. If you go, you can download latest version SSMS. If you see in SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server, we are going to use this. And what type of edition you want to, if you see here download SSMS, you can click this. Okay, you can see this 20.2 latest version we have. Okay, you can click on this. So it's downloading. Already I have downloaded it. Okay. So if you anybody want to download, you can download from this. Okay, that is developer version. We have expression version and developer version, but we want to download only the developer version. Okay. So that upcoming classes I'll show you how to download, and the link also I'll provide you guys. Okay. So once if you download it, it will open like this. So SSMS is the one of the software, guys. Okay, SQL Server Management Studio. So where we want to write or manage our database, everything. Okay, so we will use the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. Some people in the organization call it as SSMS. In interviewer also they will ask SSMS or SQL Server Management Studio. If you know, you have both are same. Don't worry about that. Okay, SSMS in a simple short term. If you elaborate, that is SQL Server Management Studio. Okay. Once if you join the organizations, you can't download free version. Okay, you have to get the approval from your manager or some other administration. Then only you have to download. Okay, don't try to download any free once if you join any organization. Okay, so once if you open, it will show you like that. Connect to that server type. Okay, I'll show you later. Also, we'll discuss about these concepts. Okay, now I'm connecting to I'm connecting to my server. Okay, this is server, and under this we have databases. If you expand these databases, there will be a lot of DBs I have created. And one more thing, we have some system databases also. In the upcoming classes, I'll discuss with you what is system databases and what is user defined databases. What we are going to create a DB. Okay, and you want to fetch some data, you can how we can write it. There is a new query option we have. You can click on, there will be a blank window will be open. So you can write it here, that query, like the select star from whatever the table. Okay, for example, under customer database, I have what type of tables you can expand. There will be a tables, views also. In upcoming classes, we will discuss what is view also. Okay, so let me discuss about this employee table. Okay, so just execute this query. There will be an option called execute here. If you run the query, it will show you the output. See here, employee ID, employee name, employee salary. So we have many 3 columns with the 3 row of the data. Okay, so we can execute this kind of commands in the SSMS. Okay, like this we can create a new table also. How to create new table, how to create DB. Okay, how to modify the records, everything we are going to learn in the upcoming classes. Okay, so that's all about today's session, guys. I'll show you how to download this SSMS. Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you, Sirisha.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you have any doubts, let me know. Guys, okay. Make sure attend at 8 p.m. daily, okay? And practice also.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. We'll meet you tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Bye.